Maria the Virgin Witch is set during the time between the 100-Year War. Our main protagonist, Maria, who you haven't guessed from the title, is a witch, and she seeks to end the conflict between France and England. Just the fighting, mind you, she's not really too heavy-handed on the idealism behind it. And also, if you haven't guessed from the title, Maria is a virgin. The Virgin Maria. And the guy courting her, his name is Joseph. The symbolism only gets more overt from there. I really love this show. Maria herself is a very well-defined character. I mean, the story is that she wants to end conflict between two warring nations, and she has the power to do so. Of course, take notice that she is just trying to end the fighting, not the conflict itself. So really, she just hates violence towards her fellow man. And in her eyes, the religious war is kind of pointless. So she intervenes by summoning various monsters between the two French and English armies, as well as sending her two familiars to soften the warriors' morales. Now, Maria is an overall good person, but she is flawed beyond reason, which makes her actually more relatable, because she has no fallback plan for if the two warring nations don't ever stop fighting. Her plan is simply just to stop the battles. Even a passive viewer can say that she's gonna have to do more than that, and she does sometimes attempt to do more, and it really is a delve inside her mind to see where her morals stand. Another thing I have to compliment the show on is that it takes full advantage of its period. I mean, whoever wrote this did their homework on warring during that time. There's a lot of political and realistic elements that are in this that don't feel too removed or disconnected from the magical spectacle that's happening on the other side. You know, it all feels very cohesive and it works all together. And the animation is just fantastic, there's no doubt about that. And the one thing I have to compliment is that every single character is uniquely designed. Like, look at every single character in this. And when you see like a character's face, albeit you saw him that one time, you'll notice because they made every single face distinct. And it's not just recycling faces and faces over and over again. There's features, and that's good. I like it. And of course, the use of magic in this is really nice to display Maria's magical abilities, as well as a certain angelic being's abilities. During one of Maria's interventions on one of the battles, the Archangel Michael descends from the heavens and places a spell on Maria. Maria's magic as a witch is now locked to her maidenhood. If she were to lose that, she would lose all her powers as a witch, and thus can't stop the war between England and France. Also, she is given an angel familiar, Ezekiel. If Ezekiel sees Maria intervening in the war in any type of way, she will report to Michael, and Michael will smite her. Now, there are many different directions they can take this plot, and they take full advantage of that, getting a lot of humor out of both of these scenarios, as well as a lot of drama. Such as Ezekiel has to physically see Maria performing magic in order to report to Michael, and they kind of keep doing this joke where Ezekiel's back is turned for like 2 seconds and Maria summons a giant dragon to break up the fighting. Ezekiel technically didn't see her cast that, for all she knows, so they're going on the excuse that that dragon just fell out of the air. Also, there's a lot of virgin jokes at Maria's expense. And of course, there's this little ongoing joke about an incubus who has clouds for genitalia because Maria doesn't know what male genitals look like. Of course, there are a few gripes I have with this story, mainly the fact that, well, not to spoil too much, but the main priest character kind of breaks a little too easily after one philosophical discussion with Maria, where she basically just says one sentence, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere. Also, a mean, bully character becomes friend, becomes companion, becomes evil for some reason. Like, I understand it, but I don't see the necessity of it. Of course, the horrible thing that we do to our titular character, turns out it didn't happen, so cop out. And of course, little girl character doesn't get murdered at all in this. And really not trying to spoil anything here, but a part of the ending is a majority vote. Now, how they handle that is very heartwarming, so I'm really on the fence on how that actually portrayed, but when you get down to it, it's a majority vote. And it kind of somewhat comes out of nowhere. But really, Maria does have that effect on people, and, you know, I can see why. She's a really nice person who only wants to do good in the world, the only way she knows how. Of course, the shortcomings of this show are minor and easily ignored. I mean, you can get through this and not even notice the stuff I said. It really is an entertaining watch, and the manga's really good too. And I highly suggest you give that a read. A tale about a really powerful witch who really wants to hold on to that V card.